What's up, nerds? My name's Noah. Welcome to Table Ready, and today we are hopping back into our ChatGPT solo Dungeons and Dragons campaign with our half-elf bard Rhys. Now, if you missed it last time, we ended up making a fool of ourselves at the Wandering Minstrel, where we attempted to sing a ballad and compete with the resident bard. She schooled us and kind of sent us on our way, and we expressed about how we didn't really know where we were going from there. We had just entered this city and had been feeling a little lost in our purpose. But after a night of debauchery, we smooth talked our way into some of the finer ways of living, from the Golden Goblet into the Velvet Vale, which is one of the nicest places to stay here in AIM. I do have an announcement at the end of this video. If you're a real one, please check that out and let me know what you think in the comments afterwards. Alrighty, let's get into it. As we saw, the Velvet Vale seems to be beautifully decorated and has a bed big enough to swallow us whole, so let's go to sleep.
You settle in for a good night's rest at the luxurious inn, feeling grateful for the unexpected generosity of the group you met at the Golden Goblet. You fall into a deep and restful sleep, feeling rejuvenated for whatever adventures tomorrow might bring.
Well, let's wake up and go grab some breakfast, right? I'm sure it's continental.
As you head down for breakfast, you notice that the Golden Goblet is a bit quieter than it was last night. The patrons seem to be nursing their hangovers and speaking with hushed tones. You make your way to a small table near the back of the room as the server approaches you to take your order.
Good morning, what can I get for you?
She asks with a friendly smile.
I'll have the eggs scrambled and whatever meat you have at the ready this morning.
The innkeeper nods and quickly sets to work preparing your breakfast order. After a few minutes, he brings out a plate of scrambled eggs and some sizzling bacon.
Here you are, sir. Anything else I can get for you? He asks. So this is something else I've noticed. It swaps between he and she pretty often. So yeah, try not to worry too much about that. No, that'll do for now. I pay them and eat, thinking about what to do with my day.
As you finish your meal, you hear some commotion outside. You see a group of people gathered around a nearby street corner, whispering to each other and looking nervous. Curiosity getting the better of you, you decide to investigate. As you approach the crowd, you hear them talking about a recent string of burglaries that have been happening in the city. The citizens are concerned and on edge. You overhear a woman talking about how her home was broken into and how all of her valuables were stolen. Another man mentions that he saw a group of suspicious-looking individuals lurking around his neighborhood the other night. This information piques your interest, and you begin to wonder if there's any way you could help catch these burglars and prevent further thefts.
I mean, the DM's not wrong. My interest is piqued. I enter the conversations with the crowd. Did anyone get a good look at any of these burglars?
One man speaks up.
I've heard there were a group of hooded figures, all dressed in black. They moved quick and were gone in a flash. I didn't get any good look at their faces.
Another woman chimes in.
I heard they were seen entering an old abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Could be worth checking out if you're looking to catch them. Yeah, I mean, I want to catch them, but I don't know if I want to go by myself. This is, again, me, a bard, and no party. Let's see if anybody else will go with us. Is anyone willing to go with me to check out the house on the outskirts of town? I look around at the crowd beyond just those who are in the immediate conversation. A few people look at you curiously, but no one seems to step forward to volunteer. One person speaks up. I'm not sure it's a good idea to go picking around in someone else's house without permission. We should let the authorities handle it. Psh, obviously not an adventurer. I feel like Rhys is having this whole crisis of identity and what's next, and maybe this is our start in finding our purpose. He's got to do something about it. Let's go. I walk over to the woman who said her belongings were stolen. Hello there. I'm curious, what kind of valuables were taken from your home?
The woman turns to you and says,
Oh, hello. They took a few pieces of jewelry, a silver tea set, and some coins. It's nothing too extravagant, but still important to me.
She looks downward, a bit downtrodden as she speaks.
And the authorities? They haven't found anything yet?
The woman shakes her head.
No, unfortunately not. The guards have been investigating, but they haven't found any leads yet. Now, I may be being a little foolhardy about this, but I take it as a sign that is drawing me into a purpose of a life of adventure that one day I'll be able to write about. Well, miss, if you wouldn't mind describing the tea set to me, I will see if I can find it for you. Who knows? I might even find those responsible for stealing it.
The woman seems grateful for your offer.
Oh, thank you so much. That tea set is very special to me. It's made of delicate porcelain with floral pattern printed on it. There's 6 cups and a teapot, all matching. I can give you a small reward if you manage to find it. I tip my hat to her and take my leave. I start towards the house on the outskirts of town.
As you approach the house, you notice that it looks abandoned and run down. The windows are boarded up, and the front door is locked. It doesn't seem like anyone has lived here for a while. What do you want to do?
Well, we're going in. I walk around the side of the house and see if I can see through any of the windows. Is this a single-story house?
Yes, it appears to be a single-story building. As you walk around the side of the house, you see that the windows have been boarded up, making it difficult to see inside.
I sneak around the back to see if there's another entrance. Stealth check. Oh, rolling a d20, you get a 14th. Okay, it looks like it rolled it for me this time, and it's pretty inconsistent about that. I'll remind it to let me roll and tell it the final things. I'll keep this one for now. A 14 isn't great, but it's not bad, and it appears that we didn't get caught yet, so we'll let that slide for now. Let's see if it'll let me make another check here, if it'll let me actually roll the dice after me telling it to let me roll. Can I try my hand at the lock rolling sleight of hand? Yes, you can certainly try to pick the lock. Please roll a sleight of hand check. Awesome. 18. Okay, so my bonuses are +5, and I rolled an 18, so my total is 23. Pretty good.
With a skillful hand and a bit of luck, you manage to pick the lock and the door creaks open.
I crouch down and peer into the space.
As you peer through the opening, you can see that it leads into a small storage room filled with boxes and crates. It looks as though it hasn't been used in a while, with cobwebs and dust covering most surfaces. You can't see much beyond that from your vantage point.
Okay, well, let's see if there are any signs of any others. I want to roll perception to see if I can see or hear any signs of others having been here recently or that are here now. Let's roll. 17, not bad. Okay, so I rolled a 17, but I do have a -1 modifier to my wisdom, so that's going to be a 16.
As you peer into the space, you do not see any signs of recent activity or movement. The room appears to be empty and undisturbed for some time. You do notice some dust on the ground and some of the surfaces, suggesting that no one has been here for at least a few days.
Well then, I guess I relax a bit and stand up and walk into the room, scanning around to see what I can find. I'd like to take a look at the boxes.
Walk over to the boxes and take a closer look. You see that they are filled with various household items, such as dishes, utensils, linens, and decorative items. As you rummage through them, you notice that some of the items are of high quality and likely worth a significant amount of money. As you continue to search through the boxes, you hear a faint noise coming from one of the other rooms. It sounds like someone or something is moving.
What? Okay, I guess my perception check wasn't high enough. That's fine. Somebody's coming. Okay, let's go quickly. I crouch behind the boxes and wait to see who comes. As soon as they are close enough where I feel like they're getting too close for comfort, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and create the sound of someone knocking at the front door.
You hear footsteps approaching the front door, the sound of the lock turning. After a moment, the door opens up and you hear a voice say,
"Who's there?" I take this opportunity to sneak into the room that this person just came out of while their back is to me.
You successfully sneak into the adjacent room as the person is distracted by the sound of the knocking. The room is similar to the previous one, with several boxes and crates scattered around. However, this room also has a large wooden chest in the corner. As you approach the chest, you hear footsteps approaching the door. It seems the person has finished dealing with the person at the front door and is returning back to the room. You have a split second to decide what to do.
What? Okay, I wait behind the door, and I'm going to cast sleep spell on him as soon as he comes in.
As you cast the sleep spell, the man's eyes start to droop and he stumbles, falling asleep in front of you.
Okay, well, I fervently look through the room. What do I find? Any signs of the tea set or any other valuables?
As you search through the room, you notice that it's sparsely furnished with only a simple bed and small chests. You open the chest to find a few pieces of clothing and nothing else of value. As you continue your search, you notice a small locked box on the shelf above the bed. It looks like it could be the perfect size for the stolen tea set.
Okay, I look at the sleeping man in the room. Do I see any keys on him? I figure if the thing is locked, I need a key to get in, right?
Upon searching the sleeping man, you don't find any keys on him.
Okay, well then we gotta get a move on it, because I'm pretty sure sleep only lasts like a minute. I grab the box that I suspect may have the stolen tea set in it, and I tuck it under my arm and run towards the back door where I made my entrance. I know he won't be asleep for very long, so I leave the other belongings and just focus on escaping with the box that I have.
As you run towards the back door, you hear the man stirring from his slumber. You quickly open the door, bursting into the daylight. You run as fast as you can, feeling the weight of the box under your arm. Looking behind you, you can see the man running after you, shouting for you to stop. You turn a corner and find yourself at a dead-end alley. The man is getting closer and closer, and you can hear his footsteps pounding on the ground. You quickly look around you for any means of escape. You turn right. You see a stack of crates piled up against a wall, and on your left, a small window high up on the wall. What do you do?
I bolt behind the crates and immediately cast Minor Illusion, making it appear as though there's a large bag of trash blocking off the remaining viewing angle so that he can't see me when he comes to investigate. Hoping that it'll just look like trash and like crates and stuff. And then I'll roll stealth. I'm actually going to roll it with advantage because I cast the spell as I'm hidden magically and with the crates. 14 and 12. Okay, I rolled a 14. My modifier is a +3, so that's a total of 17.
You quickly move behind the crates and cast Minor Illusion to create the illusion of a large bag of trash blocking the view. You crouch and hide, waiting for any sign of movement, but you don't hear anything for a few moments. You start to think that maybe you're in the clear. However, just as you start to relax, you hear the steps coming towards your location. You peek through the crates and see a man walking towards the dead end of the alley. He looks around, confused, and then turns back towards the house. It seems as though your illusion worked, and he did not see you.
Okay, let's go. All right. Well, I let out a huge breath of relief and wipe my brow. I look down at the box and try to pry it open gently.
As you gently pry open the box, you see that it is indeed the stolen tea set. You feel a sense of satisfaction and excitement for having found it. The tea set is made of fine porcelain and intricately designed with a matching set of teacups. It looks like it's been well cared for, but you can't help wonder how it ended up in the hands of a thief.
I mean, I guess he probably thiefed it. I take the box and tea set to the place where I found the woman. Is she around? If I can't find her there, I'm going to go to the nearest location where the authorities are stationed.
As you head back to where you left the woman, you notice her walking towards you, looking anxious and worried. She notices the box in your hand, and her eyes widen with surprise.
You found it, she exclaims. Please open the box and let me see.
You gently pry open the box and reveal the tea set inside. She gasps in delight and takes the tea set out of the box to inspect it closely.
This was my grandmother's tea set. I can't believe you found it,
she says, tears welling up in her eyes. She turns to you with grateful expression.
Thank you so much, sir. You have no idea how much this means to me. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to repay you.
You can either ask for a reward or refuse it, simply satisfied with the good deed you've done. Alternatively, you can turn the thief in to the authorities if you so feel inclined.
Yeah, I don't feel like taking anything from this lady. I think that we could probably make up our reward, whatever reward we miss out on from this kind woman, with maybe some reputation and then possibly a reward from the police. No, my lady, I can't accept anything from you at this time. Just remember that it was a good bard named Rhys who helped you today. I will leave her with the tea set and head to the authorities and turn in the thief. I walk to the station and take a look around.
As you enter the station, you see a few officers at their desk, poring over paperwork and reports. One of them looks up at you and nods politely before returning to their work. You also notice a few cells in the back of the room, but they appear to be empty at the moment.
Hello, folks. My name is Rhys, and I have a few questions. Is there anyone I can speak to?
A young woman behind the desk greets you with a smile.
Hello there, Rhys. I'm Officer Johnson. How may I assist you today? Well, hello, officer. As I said before, my name is Rhys. I give her a quick up and down. I'd like to ask if you've heard anything about the recent string of burglaries going on nearby.
Officer Johnson nods.
Yes, we've been made aware of them. What do you know about them? Well, what would a good bit of information get me? I raise an eyebrow. It's not uncommon to receive a reward for information that leads to an arrest.
Officer Johnson crosses her arms and regards you with a skeptical expression.
I'm afraid I can't promise you any rewards, but I'm willing to listen. What do you know? I don't think so, lady. I think you're gonna have to sweeten the pie here a little bit. Well, if you can't promise me a reward, then why would I get a group of thieves on my bad side? I'm going to need a little motivation to loose these lips. Let's roll persuasion. 16, okay. So I rolled a 16 and I have a +6, so I rolled a total of 22.
Officer Johnson seems to consider your words carefully before responding.
Fine, I can offer you a small reward for any information that leads to the arrest of these thieves, but you need to understand, we can't promise you anything until the culprits are in custody.
She pauses for a moment before continuing.
What do you know? The abandoned house on the outside of town? That's the one that's all boarded up? Well, that's where they are. I was able to sneak inside and find an object and retrieve it that I happen to know was stolen by the burglars. Not only that, but there are loads of boxes with fine household goods that I'm fairly sure are from the houses that have been looted.
Officer Johnson nods thoughtfully.
Thank you for this information, Rhys. We'll definitely look into it. If you need any assistance or protection, don't hesitate to let us know.
She then takes out a small notebook and pen and begins jotting down the details you provided.
Can you tell me anything else about the group and the abandoned house? I described the guy that was chasing me out of the house into the alleyway, and then I part ways.
The officer nods and gives you a small smile.
We'll do our best to act on this information, Rhys. Thank you again for your help. I leave the building with my head held high, and although it's not the most grand of adventures, hell, it's a start. But a story's no good if it's kept to oneself. I head to the nearest bar.
As you enter the nearest bar, the smell of stale ale and tobacco hits your nostrils. The dimly lit room is filled with a mix of locals and travelers, all looking for a place to unwind and forget their troubles. You see a few empty stools at the bar and take a seat. The bartender is a burly man with a thick beard and bald head, comes over to you.
What can I get you, stranger?
He asks. You look around the room, taking in the sights and sounds. You decide to keep it simple and order a pint of ale. As you sip on the drink, you can't help but overhear the conversations around you. Some patrons are talking about recent burglaries, while others are discussing rumors of a dragon sighting in the nearby mountains. You realize that this is a perfect opportunity to share your own story and make some new friends. What do you do?
Well, that is the question. So from here, I think it's a good place to stop, and this is where I wanted to drop an announcement. I am expecting my first child, my son, to be born in the next week. That being said, I don't want to leave you guys hanging, and I actually want to try to record as much as possible so I can get 2 videos out a week if possible, 1 or 2 a week out for you. That being said, they're not all going to be on this content specifically. I want to continue this series. I am going to start another series with a cleric, and then I also want to just drop some D&D videos on like DM tips, player tips, general thoughts about the game. So yeah, stay tuned. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. Yeah, and I really appreciate it. I can't believe that this has grown as quickly as it has. I mean, 100 subscribers in a month is really freaking cool, you guys. So yeah, so thanks. The last thing I wanted to ask is, what do you guys think about me signing up for ChatGPT's like Plus program? So far, it seems like the main things are that you get to use it even when there's a lot, like the server is loaded up. Also, you get faster response times, and if you don't know what it actually looks like when I'm making the videos, this is how long it takes ChatGPT to respond to me. And maybe if I'm able to upgrade the service, then I can kind of make the videos a little faster. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching and yeah, following me on this journey. So I guess you guys are kind of like my party of adventurers right now until I find one. Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys. Peace.